All right, welcome back to Duty's Daggers. Today I figured it would be kind of fun to do kind of an update video and show off all my slip joints, my whole slip joint collection. I've been pretty into slip joints in recent months, and I have acquired a pretty good number of them, all of which I really love very much for different reasons. So I figured we'd just go through and look at them. Plus, you'll get a chance to see some of the different slip styles that I make and have made. That way, if you feel like you ever want one, you can kind of know what I have to offer. The different leathers that I make stuff out of, the different color stitching, all that good stuff. So these are in no particular order. Let's start off with this right here. This is a Rosecraft Blades Kayak. Kind of a funky looking knife, but one of my favorite Rosecraft blade knives. It might look a little weird, but let me tell you, it is completely that way for a reason. Blade's kind of tilted down from the handle a little bit, making it really good for utility cutting. It's thin, slicey, great walk and talk. And this slip I made for it is grid leather on one side and some kind of olive green Pueblo-ish sort of stuff on the other side. It's a tapered slip, which means it's, thinner at the bottom and then thickens up a little at the top. I think it's a really cool look, and it fits perfectly right there. Next, another Rosecraft Blades and another tapered slip. This slip has whiskey brown and then black on the backside. And this is the Rosecraft Blades. Oh crap. Loosahachie Jack. That's right. This is probably my number one favorite Rosecraft blade. Really like this one. It's crazy thin behind the edge. I really like the blade shape, how the belly kind of drops below the knife. It's kind of the best of both worlds of having a really low tip but also a belly for like when you want to do these kinds of cuts, like and use your belly for that. I mean, look how low the tip comes, and compared to the handle, it's really low. It's almost like in line with the bottom of the knife right here. Um, Great walk and talk. I love the kind of jig pattern they have on here. The rosebud shield. This is my favorite Rosecraft blade traditional style knife. It's very, very good. Loosahachie Jack. Let's just get all the Rosecraft blades out of the way. Here's the Clinch River Swayback. Look at that mean ass blade. We have a brass rosebud shield this time. I forget what kind of color bone they call this, but it is real bone. All these are D2 blade steel, by the way. Huge like finger choil on this. Very unique sort of swayback that I have never seen before. Very kind of pronounced swoop up on the handle. Huge finger choil, which is really comfortable. It's kind of weird because you want to hold it like you would a normal like choke up spot, but having this hump right here, like all swaybacks do, you kind of want it makes you kind of want to hold the knife like this almost. Like it's odd. Um, this is a little bigger than I was expecting it to be, and I don't carry this very much. I think it's just a little kind of big, and not only big but wide this way because it does swoop up so much this way. Um, so definitely badass. I use this in my leatherwork a lot of times because it's a great utility cutter. I just don't carry it around that much because it's a little bulky, but badass nonetheless. All right, now we're gonna get into some other stuff here. I'm just gonna randomly grab one out of the pile. This is a pretty early slip that I made out of just regular raw natural leather, regular fold up style. And this is one of the new Hedgehogs in 80s. Or wait, no, this is the Gecko. Yeah, this is the Gecko fat carbon, or camo carbon rather. The Hedgehog is one of my favorites. It's just a really good knife. It is very, very thin behind the edge, extremely thin at the tip, but it's not a very fragile tip because it doesn't come to a point. It just, I mean, a little bit of a point, but it would be very difficult to break this tip off, even though it is so freaking thin. So it's really cool, almost like a straight razor in a way. Mean utility cutter. Excellent, really excellent walk and talk. Some of the kind of strongest, stiffest, snappiest walk and talk of any of these that you're going to see today. Really, really done well. I love how you can see that perfectly centered, very thin tip right in the middle between the liners there. I love that. This camo carbon is really, really pretty. There's a bunch of different colors available at traditionalpocketknives.com, and yeah, they're just really, really nice. If you want $5 off, you can put in my code DOODYTPK as well if you want one of these. And we might as well get out my other one. This is my first Hedgehog, and this is the jigged titanium version. Same exact blades, except for the this one is a little bit thicker. The camo carbon one's a little thicker. You can see the titanium's even a little thicker too. And then with the inlays in there, it just kind of thickens up the handle a little bit, making it a little more ergonomic. This one fills out your hand a little bit better if you're gripping it like this. But there's just something really nice about some jigged titanium. I mean, just beautiful. This is kind of a uniform jigging as opposed to some more random jigging that we'll see later on. Just really, really nice. Same really good walk and talk. Crazy, crazy, crazy good. I love my hogs. If you haven't tried one, you really, really should. It's gonna be difficult to fit all these on the table, but we'll see how it goes. Actually, you know what? This one goes in the slip. I forgot about that. Yeah, okay. All right, next, let's try one of these. This is a very tiny little guy, as you can see. This is my little Rattler, my GEC Little Rattler. This was my second ever GEC. We got brass alloyed bolsters and shield. And this is a little tiny Wharncliffe. Look at that, man. It says Little Rattler right on the blade there. It's number 19, made in 2020. Walk and talk is it's not a very stiff pull, but it makes sense because it's a tiny little knife. You wouldn't want this to have a really, really hard pull anyways. Very tiny, just really kind of dainty, probably best used as just like a little package opener or mail opener or whatever. Really tiny, just, you know, you would never even know you had this in your pocket. And I really like it. Next up, this is my case. What's it called? Crap. Copperlock. My case Copperlock. Wharncliffe. This is maybe my wickedest looking. I mean, it's not even a slip joint, really. It's a lockback, but it's going to be in the video anyways. It's kind of sneaking in. I mean, look at this thing. This is a knife that I envision like Billy the Kid carrying, or Doc Holliday or somebody. This makes me think of like a cowboy villain knife. I don't know why. It's just it kind of gives me that vibe. Super aggressive Wharncliffe. Got a long pull, rectangular there, rectangular long pull. Nice polish on the blade. This is I believe synthetic bone. I don't think that's real bone, but I could be wrong. There's different versions with real bone that I'd really like to get one of these days. It's a lockback, but look at this nice snap. That is a really nice snap shut that you don't get from all lockbacks. Some just kind of lazily close. This one snaps, and another reason I really like it. Just, I mean, wicked, man. You can choke up on it too with this little kind of flat spot area right here. Full grip, you know, obviously a great utility cutter. This thing is wicked. It's kind of an experimental slip I was messing around with, trying a bunch of things on. I like the window up here. I was trying to do like a lanyard, but exposed, and I'm not really sure how that worked out, but that's where the Copperlock lives for now. All right. Next, let's do a weird one. The Spyderco Roe. This is probably the weirdest one. It's a little Spyderco slip joint, and it looks weird. It certainly functions pretty good though for utility cutting. This was designed to circumvent airline knife laws. For a while, they were considering kind of relaxing the knife laws on airplanes, and Spyderco designed this knife to follow those guidelines. But then the airlines decided to say, actually, you know what? Let's just not do any knives at all. So Spyderco decided to put this out anyways, though. It's weird. There's this little like dimple on either side of the blade for you to kind of grab it and pull it out. Not that you really need it because this hump is here anyways, but it's kind of cool. It's unique. These little dimples on either side. Still got the hole in the blade. It's N690 blade steel. Not very stiff walk and talk at all. But, you got a decent little snap there. It's a weird one. Something that I just thought would be fun to have in the collection. I don't carry it much. All right, next up, let's check out this. This is a olive green Pueblo leather slip with the window in it. I like how this window kind of reveals that jigged titanium underneath there. And this is an Ohio Riverjack, the spear point version. Oh, yeah. The Ohio Riverjack was kind of my first dive into the slip joint world. This is a modern traditional, meaning it's got traditional elements, but it's much more modern. Full titanium, jigged titanium here in the middle of the two kind of faux bolsters. The Ohio Riverjacks is just, it's so good, man. I have another version here that we'll look at in a minute. This is the spear point version, probably the most versatile of the Ohio Riverjacks because you have that belly, but you can also do utility cutting with it. It's just, it's like a heavy duty slip joint. You can do freaking work with this thing, man. But still, it's a great size. You get a full grip on it. Nice and thin behind the edge. M390 blade steel. You cannot go wrong with an Ohio Riverjack. And especially considering the price, too. And let's take a look at my other Ohio Riverjack. One of my first slips. This is a whiskey brown leather. I think it's the same as this stuff here. Got the D backwards on this one for a client, so I just kept it for myself. And this is probably my favorite version of the Ohio Riverjack. That's the Wharncliffe. Really nice Wharncliffe, full flat grind, thin at the edge. Same, faux bolsters with the jig titanium in the middle. Totally flush back spring. And this thing has the best walk and talk of any of my Ohio Riverjacks. For some reason, this one's just a little better. I don't know why. So good. Oh yeah, I freaking love it. If you're interested in an Ohio Riverjack, you can use my code. It's linked down below. All right, moving on. This is my only, well, never mind. I have two. I have two case knives. This is my Sodbuster Junior. And this is the one in the Amber Peach Seed Jig Bone. I tried the synthetic bone Sodbuster first and didn't like it too much. It had a lot of QC issues as well as it being a lot thicker. I just like these bone ones a lot. They're a little thinner. They look better in my opinion. And look at the patina on this baby. This is probably my coolest looking patina that I own on any of these carbon steels. Look at that. Look at those colors. Man, that's nice. I just use this for a lot of food, really, is how it got the patina. No half stop on these. I think it would be really cool if it had one. Carbon steel case. It's got almost like a hollow grind on it, which it feels interesting, but it's a slicer, man, for real. And You know, it's got aggressive belly up to the tip, so not the best utility cutter, but not too horrible either. And it's just a classic, the Sodbuster Junior. It's probably, I don't know, it seems like it's probably the most popular case knife, and it's a very popular pattern in general. You know, GEC has a Sodbuster kind of pattern. I think it's called the Bullnose 71, and yeah, it's a Sodbuster Junior. I like this slip too. This is yellow Pueblo leather, and got a little eyelet with the lanyard on it. Next, let us check out a modern traditional. This is the Serge Panchenko Slip 7. The only one in the video here, honestly, with the clip. I leave the clip on because it's nice and lightweight and thin, so I like to clip this in the waistband of my athletic shorts if I go running or something sometimes. So I leave the clip on, and I just made the slip to allow the clip to go on the outside like that. But if you don't like the clip, you can easily pop it off, and it'll just be like a regular slip joint. Perfectly centered. I absolutely love the finish on this knife. This like acid wash sort of thing on the blade and the titanium handles. This is such an awesome knife. Sharpening choil is excellent. Thin behind the edge. Sheep's foot blade with a little bit of belly. Very straightforward, but very kind of industrial looking. Very interesting way they do the back spring here. It dips inside instead of being flush on the back. It kind of dips inside the handle. Very interesting. The walk and talk is very good. Really very nice. M390 blade steel. This might look good with a lanyard. You can put one in the back here. I don't know. I'll think about that. I love this thing. I handled one of my friends, and I just had to get one. It's kind of a lesser known knife, I think. But man, the overall aesthetic, the walk and talk, the sliciness, the finish, everything, I just love. Let's do another modern one. This is some red wax leather right here. It's basically red colored leather, but over the top of it is this layer of white wax. And when you first get it, it's very white, barely any red peeking through. But as it goes in and out of your pocket and starts wearing that layer of wax off, more and more of the redness is revealed. So you can tell here where the dent of the knife is kind of rubs my pocket more than the rest. So it kind of becomes more red in that area. And then on the other side is just some regular whiskey brown leather. I like how the two colors meet on the seam here. It just looks really cool. This is my kind of swayback style slip. Not perfectly rectangular. You kind of have almost a swayback thing going on with the back of the slip coming up, this point of the slip coming down, reminiscent of a swayback. And that's because I have my Jack Wolf laid back jack in here. This is real nice. One of my favorite Jack Wolfs that I've seen or tried. Jigged titanium handles with the faux bolster, kind of like a Barlow style swayback. Hand rubbed satin blade on this with a nice sharpening choil too. The plunge grind could be a little tightened up to make that even better, but it's not too bad. S90 V2 on this, so this will hold an edge very nicely. It's a little thicker behind the edge than I would like. It's way thicker behind the edge than any other Jack Wolf I've tried. Not really sure why. I got it pretty sharp. I had to sharpen it when I got it. I just wish it was a little thinner behind the edge, but in reality, I'm mostly using this to, do utility cutting, open stuff up, so I'm really only using kind of this much of the point of the blade anyways. Walk and talk's very stiff. Don't need the nail nick, you can just pinch it out, which is great. So stiff. Really nice. Yeah, this is a really nice knife. Jack Wolf laid back jack. Next this is an interesting one. This is my first GEC. But first, let's talk about the slip. This is the same kind of concept as the red wax leather, but instead of white wax, this has black wax over yellow. So it's yellow leather. You can see on the inside it's yellow, but it has a layer of black wax over the top. So same thing, as the black wears off, the yellow is revealed underneath, and I think it's a very, very cool look. Red stitching on this one. Now this is my GEC number 78 American Jack. It was originally a two-blader with this spear point and then a smaller pen blade. I really like the knife, but I'm just not much of a two-blader kind of guy. It makes it thicker and a little bit less enjoyable to carry. And for a while, I thought about selling it and getting a different GEC that was a single blade, but then my buddy Michael Richter told me that there's such a thing as blade deletes. So I sent this off to a guy who deleted a blade for me. Just took it off, put it back together, and now it's a single-bladed GEC. I freaking love this thing, man. I really didn't want to sell it, mostly because of these covers. This is elderberry jigbone. I just freaking love these freaking covers, man. Didn't want to give them up. They're beautiful. The way there's like deep grooves for the jigging, it just looks really, really good. Yeah, the only downside is the serial number on this knife was on the pen blade, so I don't have it anymore. I mean, I have it. I have the pen blade in a drawer somewhere, but it's not on the knife anymore. So that's the only downside. But this is great. This is my first GEC. I don't think I'm ever going to get rid of it. Just an almost perfect spear point blade. Super crazy thin behind the edge. GECs are all just crazy thin behind the edges. Very, very slicey, all of them that I've tried. Great walk and talk. GEC walk and talk just feels different than a lot of these modern folders. Not better necessarily, not worse necessarily at all. Definitely not worse. Just different. It's just a different feeling. So that's that one. Next, a big boy. This is the Origer Cutlery Lake Champlain Barlow sheepsfoot version. I also have the clip point, but it's being lent out right now to Jason. But this is my sheepsfoot version. You can tell it's a little dirty. I've been using it a lot in the shop for leather. This is a big, heavy-duty work knife, pretty much. We have a really nice hollow grind. This is a hand-ground satin blade, hollow ground, insanely thin behind the edge. I mean, look at the tip, you can tell. I love this little swedge that wraps around. M390 blade steel. You know, it's a Barlow. So you got the longer bolster, and then the natural micarta down here. Great walk and talk. Really, really nice. You can use my code for these too if you're interested. There's some saw cut titanium. There's jig titanium. Bunch of micartas as well. All right, we're getting down close to the end here. This is my little double slip. I have my cuestvanish in here, as well as my Fisher Space Pen in brass. Kind of a nice little combo. Man, look at that patina on that brass. I've had this for years, and it took a long time to get this dark and patinaed, but man, look at that. Brass seems to patina much slower than copper. You can see here's some new brass. You can tell the difference. It takes a long time, but once it does start to really darken and patina, it looks so good. Look at that. I can't wait till this pen is that dark. So this is the cuestvanish. This is a little slip joint, basically a small slip joint version of his variant series. And this is such a good, useful little slip joint. Perfect size for just disappearing in the pocket, doing utility cuts. Really nice walk and talk. This is an engraved version. You can, I don't know if he has it has them anymore, but at the time you were able to spend an extra $10 to get a design on the side. So I picked this kind of floral, leafy kind of design. It looks really nice on there. Copper anodized titanium, blackwash blade. Yeah, M390. It's a good one. Or no, 20CV. I'm wrong. Yeah. I'm going to have to double up here. Let's go there. All right, we got two more, and they're both GECs. This is the slip joint that I've been carrying the most in the last couple months. I've carried this so often, almost every day, and it's my GEC number 47 Viper. I freaking love this thing. I love the slip that it's in. I love everything about this slip. It goes perfectly. I love the lanyard. I absolutely love the knife. I love everything about this whole package. So this is the Viper that was in the, what do they call this? Let me see. They called it Stonewash Blue Natural Bone. So this is, yeah, it's natural bone. You can tell it's not completely uniform side to side. Genuine North American cattle bone there on the blade. Some people don't like that. I think it looks actually really good. I love that. Got a little patina going on there. And this is just a really classic Swayback design. Very, very useful. Very thin behind the edge. Super pokey utility cutter. It's just such a good looking knife. It really, really is. Walk and talk is great. Not quite as stiff as the GEC you're going to see next. But definitely not mushy at all. This is just one of my favorites. I can't wait until this is like 20 years old, and you could just tell that it has miles on it, and it's gonna patina and wear, and just, oh yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. This is a knife that I would pass on to my family at some point, absolutely. And the very last knife, my pride and joy, the GEC Yellow Rose. This is a slip that Richter Knives made me. It's got the rose on front, the Texas on the back. He did an amazing job on this thing. And check out this knife. Bam! Look at that. The slip matches. These same lines and that are on the bolster here are on the slip. How cool is that? Absolutely killed it on the slip. This is the most beautiful slip joint I have ever seen. Yellow dyed bone. We have the rose shield there. Full polish on everything. And I'm not being... I'm being real with you when I say this has the best walk and talk of any of my GECs. It is absolutely perfect. I don't know. I can't really explain it, but it's just perfect. Let me wipe this off. Full polish on the blade. Look at that. Oh, love it. It's got yellow rose there on the blade. Long pull. Nice swedge. Beautiful, beautiful spear point. Number 86, 2023 carbon steel. I can't bring myself to cut anything with this that would patina it, and I don't think I will. This is, to me, more of like a fancy going out knife, maybe cutting a little something here or there, but nothing that will put a patina on the blade. It's too pretty. I have the Viper and other stuff for that. This is something that you keep really, really nice. At least I do. You don't have to. It's just beautiful, man. It is absolutely beautiful. I've never seen a more beautiful GEC. I just haven't. To me, this is absolute perfection. So that's it. That's my slip joint collection. If you've been thinking about getting into slip joints, there's a lot out here that would be good kind of starters. Rosecraft Blade Works. Is it Blade Works or I don't know. Rosecraft Blades. Makes really very good slip joints for a great price, anywhere from 45 to $55. GECs. A lot of people ask me how to get GECs because they're so hard to get on the drops. They sell out so quickly. And I always say Facebook groups is really the best way to go, or Instagram. A great Facebook group to join is it's called the Slipjoint Exchange, and another one is the Great Eastern Cutlery Club. Those are two Facebook groups you can join to check out knives, GECs for sale. Also Instagram, if you follow some of these slip joint guys, they'll often put up knives for sale, and that's really the best way to do it. eBay, you're probably going to be overpaying, but sometimes once in a while you see a good deal on there. So that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. I just love slip joints. I really do. I always carry a locking knife as a kind of a primary knife, and then I always have a slip joint in my pocket as well. Carry two knives with me, and usually they're different blade shapes. So I think it's really nice to carry, maybe a drop point for my primary knife, and then a Warncliffe as my secondary. Kind of give yourself options there. I love the patina. I love that you got slips with the knives. It kind of just adds character. It kind of just it's another thing to collect and make if you want to. I just they're just great. They're great. I kind of got into the slip joint world at a time where I was getting burnt out on the knife community, and just all these modern knives that were starting to look the same and blur together. That's when I started going down the slip joint road, and it really saved me from getting burnt out. It really did. So that's it. Like the video, please, if you would, and subscribe if you're not. Look down there and make sure that you are, please. And I'll see you next time. Alrighty. Bye-bye.